fingers too, apparently.
Whoa! The peace sign, because she's like, peace, I'm going to bed, I'll see you later.
I'm alive. Don't worry. She's not gonna kill me yet.
Yet. Team for XX to nation. Yes.
All right.
I missed my say like Momu. Hey, he played last week, game 1. He played last week, game 1. You can't cry too hard about that. So, Malithor may not be on because he's gonna skip banning. Oh, there he is. He bans the Ashway. We're here,
All
ladies
right,
and
he's
gentlemen,
there.
for game number 3 of the night. Team C Algae versus Team Raft. I'm still not sure that C Algae is going to be, or how it's. I mean, maybe Seal is what they were trying to do with that. But either way, yeah, C Algae is going to be clinging on top of Raft if they don't play. Let's see here. Who are the stickiest people? Zach, Fizz, Nami, Echo. It's really hard to get away from Echo when he starts chasing in on you. Oh, CLG. CLG. Oh boy. Oh boy. Spell pizza with the bands, but do it in reverse. Hashtag TSM. Hey, there's a TSM cheer button down below. You can press that any time if you want to cheer for TSM. It's more for... TSM is that cheer, at least it was 2 or 3 years ago, that fans of League of Legends, regardless whether TSM was playing or not, would just cheer because they were excited, and that was the cheer. It was the cheer. Nowadays, you don't hear it as much, mostly because TSM sucks, because they don't play anything aggressive, and they're too slow, and everything's terrible. But, well, Angel, you're going to join in the next game.
Like 5-way tie for first place, right?
Well, right, but I'm just talking overarching between Spring Split, and then they didn't even make it to Rift Rivals, and then this year as well. They're mechanically great players, but they just play so passively. The goal with TSM, at least according to me, if I was an analyst, is that they play as if we're going to wait for the enemy to make a mistake and then capitalize on that mistake. It's a very safe strategy, and it works well when it comes to teams like... SKT. It's literally what SKT did the first 2 years that they decimated at Worlds. They played incredibly safe, got all the farm, and then as soon as the enemy team made a move, they capitalized on that, got 2 kills back, took an objective, whether it's a tower or a dragon or something. The problem with TSM is that they're so passive that they sometimes don't capitalize on the aggressive moves, and you're waiting for the enemy team to make a mistake. So if they don't make a mistake when they're diving bottom lane 4 members or their junglers camping top lane or something, you don't have as much of an opportunity to actually capitalize on enemy mistakes. And so they're just... TSM needs to play a little more aggressive. I just want to see Bjergsen back on Syndra in the mid lane, 100 to 0ing people with an ultimate. That's what I'd love to see, so.
Yeah.
Team Solar mid. Why only TSM Purple Nim? Well, that's because it's the... Hey, Purple Nim's here! Dude, it's like 6 a.m. Well, not 6 a.m., not that early. But Purple Nim, it has been a while. Glad you could join us. We're not even talking about the picks right now. We'll get to them in a second. SKT's washed up. I could argue TSM is a little bit as well. Can't join the Discord because 6 people are there unless you're okay with me changing it to 7 this game. Rezdra, go ahead and change it to 7 and jump in. That's fine. I don't even care. I'm not sure who the 6th is and why they're in there. Or you can just move them. Kick the 6th person out and get in there yourself. So... constantly get 1 to 5 on the initiative rolls. There you go. I like it. Pulling in the D&D references. This game, Team C Algae versus Team Raft. We've got Yasuo, Kaisa, Zach picked up by Team C Algae, and Team Raft picking up the Nasus we haven't seen in a very long time. To many on the Graves, and a Swain by Xeno, though they could trade some things around. Unlikely, though. Unlikely.
I like the draft out of Team Raft so far. They've got a couple of strong bruisers and a nice mix of damage, too, between the Swain and the Nasus, and shoot the Graves as well. I mean, it's a fantastic look to get 3 tanky members who can crush somebody if given the time and if given a little bit of a space to work.
And Nim says it is 6:15 in the morning. And that is life. That is life. So he joined to socialize. Oh, okay. Okay. So he's just hanging out to socialize. That makes sense. So I suppose you could just add in. Why not? Why not? That's totally fine. Make it a 7th and I don't even care. The answer is I currently don't. There you go. That's like a pretty good. Starting a job
Fair.
on Friday. Nim gets a job on Friday.
Hey, grats.
That is fantastic. Good for you, my man. I like that. I miss your accent, but glad that you're able to get a job. We'll all be crossing fingers and praying that you are able to get that job, because any work is better than none. Well, not all, but most work is better.
All right, so we got a couple nice bands coming out here. DRF Dive grabs the Zed.
All right, so Dive picking up the Zed. We do have the DRF team together this time for Team Raft, so we'll see what they can pull out if they're going to make some fancy dives. I appreciate also you guys being heavy on the Discord tonight. That's been something that's been commented a little bit in the past couple of weeks, and the fact that so many of you are not only asking teammates to join, but also volunteering to jump in and use the Discord to make some fancy cool plays, have some fun. Don't throw toxicity. Don't throw the salt. Only Briar's allowed to do that, except occasionally Enzalor. Enzalor's taking Briar's place when it comes to salt. But other than that, have fun. Keep it cool.
I like the Lulu.
Okay, the spare slot is for team captains. If we have a full team 5 that also has a coach, that 6th slot is for the coach to be able to sit in, and they can spectate the game, and they can talk to some of their people through different things. I don't know. I just thought that it's better than just having 5 locked completely. So, Soraka and Lulu both picked up by Team C Algae, so they have a very purple team right now besides Zach.
Lulu mid.
Yeah. So look at all that yellow in the spells and purple on the champion picks. Yasuo, Kaisa, Zach, Lulu, Soraka. And Phantom Attempts back on the pike. This is exciting. Let's go ahead and roll through the players, and then we can discuss some of these comps, because we've hardly looked at this at all. So for Team C Algae, we've got EIQ back once again. Thank you for joining to play with the Yasuo in the top lane. Big Coin, it's been forever, my man, but welcome back on the Kaisa in the bottom lane AD carry role. Gerbil with the Zac in the jungle. Flor Desu, been a while as well. Lulu in the bottom lane supportive role. And Enzalor on the ADC Soraka mid lane. Probably not. I don't even know at this point. It might be.
And then on the side of Team Raft,
actually be.
ATC Soraka. And then on the side of Team Raft, we got Nasus, played by No Free Names, going into the top lane. Timeni's taking Zed into the middle lane. DRF Xeno also sitting on teleport. Actually, I take that back. That's going to be a Zed in the bottom lane, I believe. Xeno is going to be taking Swain into the mid lane. DRF Dive on the Graves in the jungle. And Phantom Attempt playing that Pyke support.
It could be Machine Gun Lulu in the mid lane and Kaisa Soraka bottom lane support role. She did take Exhaust. It's hard to say. It's teleport and Kaisa, so maybe it's a Kaisa in the mid lane and a Lulu Soraka in the bottom lane. I don't know. Also, I have one small gripe to make. Very small gripe, but a gripe nonetheless. You can no longer say Raka as a shortening for Soraka, because there's potential someone could confuse that with Rakan, and that you just missed the N. Forever.
Well, I always roll my R when I say Rakan, so...
Well, yes, but I'm talking about typing. If you type out, hey, pick Raka...
That's fair.
Someone could think you just missed the N and pick up Rakan when they meant for you to pick up Soraka, but you're both support, so what does it matter unless you're funnel comping? And then Soraka funnel would probably be pretty terrible, but we might see it this game. Who knows, guys? Who truly knows? So these compositions, Team Raft actually have a pretty sick late game. Between the Nasus, between Zed from the mid game on, but Swain, they are looking solid. What does C Algae bring to the table, Silik?
It's a borderline funnel comp. And I say borderline because that Kaisa, it looks to me like they might, because of the specific summoners that Lulu and Soraka are sitting on and the summoner that Kaisa is sitting on, it looks to me like Lulu might be holding the wave in mid lane and Bitcoin just bouncing back and forth on that Kaisa between mid and bottom lane in order to secure as much farm as possible. I don't think it's going to be a full funnel comp like we're used to seeing, specifically because normally when you get that full funnel comp, you've got the AD in the jungle. But that said, funneling all the farm from mid and bot lane onto the Kaisa is going to be a massive benefit for them, especially since Bitcoin is the quote-unquote strongest player on that team. I would not be surprised if that was what they were aiming for, rather than playing the Machine Gun Lulu. I love Machine Gun Lulu, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. So if that is the case, I'm scared if I'm on the side of Team Raft because the fact that Kaisa has that fifth hit on her plasma that chunks you out with the massive, I believe it's health percent scaling,
Right.
damage. So that is going to be a massive thing if they put that funneling onto Kaisa.
And that's one of those things that in this particular game, that health percentage against the Nasus and against the Swain is going to be crucial when it comes to the mid-game point. And you look across at Team Algae, they don't really have a great frontline tankiness besides maybe a Zac. But as Purple Nim points out, you've got double supports, the Lulu and the Soraka. You've got Yasuo, who can use that wind wall to stop any damage from Graves, can stop the Never Move from Swain, can stop Zed's shurikens. There's a lot that you can do with that. So basically you could roll it as almost 3 supports in an engage, and then Kaisa dealing all of the damage. The one issue is that if that Kaisa gets killed off in a mid-game fight, you have almost nothing left. So CLG needs to play carefully, and they need to funnel all of the resources that they can onto this Kaisa. If you're sending her bot lane as an ADC, can't bottom lane with the jungle. If you're sending her mid lane, can't mid lane with the jungle, and said bottom lane to come up and help out as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time for sure to see how they deal with this, if it is a funnel comp or if it's not a funnel comp. Either way, I'm curious to see what they do with the Lulu and Soraka. It's going to be interesting.
I think it works for Briar boosting players, games, and accounts, because it's not the person who's doing the boosting that gets in trouble. It's the person's whose account got boosted that Riot then shuts down because they were boosting the account. I don't think Riot can go after Briar at all. So he's getting like the best end of the deal. He's not only getting to play League and crush noobs and boost the account, but if something goes wrong and if the account gets discovered to be boosted, then he's off the hook, and it's the person's whose accounts got boosted that's in trouble. And I can't speak. You don't see Ken and Mina. I know! I thought about that myself. I was like, what happened, Zeno? I thought you were going to play the AD Kennen. Where's the lethality Kennen, Zeno? Zeno!
So much shade thrown at Zeno. Zeno, I still love you when you go back and watch this. Jake is going to throw shade, but I still love you, Zeno.
You better clip out where myself and Mina are calling you out, social calling you out for not playing the lethality Kennen. Maybe he just accidentally clicked on the Swain or something, but probably not. It's Pink Zed coming in here. Best Zed skin ever. This is the only skin that matters these days.
Duh.
No River Shen, though. A little sad about that.
No River Shen. Thank heavens.
Thank heavens. What?
Thank heavens.
Where did the camera go? Camera control. What are you doing?
Hey, I have camera control. Oh, we got a 5-man coming in. I believe Enzlor spotted
walking away.
I think Enzlor spotted too many. Yeah, he did spot him, but no hit on that. So they may feel safe to step forward here.
This is a pretty awesome skin. The Dragon Master.
Dragon Master Swain. Yeah, it's such a good skin.
I should cosplay him. That would be pretty darn awesome. A burning, glowing left hand.
You know that every time you mention cosplaying, people are like, yeah, you should do that on stream.
Yeah, do it on stream. Do the rabbit chick on stream. And I'm like, I'm not sneaky.
Yeah,
I'm not cosplaying a Battle Bunny rabbit.
I'm not sneaky.
Oh my goodness. No, thank you. No, thank you. But it looks like it's going to be the Swain Pike in the bottom lane. So those two are going to be hashing it away against the Kaisa Soraka. So a little bit more of a normal bottom lane from the side of Team Algae. And we've seen Swain play a lot in pro play in the bottom lane. One of those things as an AP bruiser champion is he can pair well with those that can bring a little bit of CC. And Pike is definitely one. If Pike lands one of those harpoons, drag someone back in, immediately into a Swain Never Move, can drag them back even further. And a lot of opportunity for some extra damage on the bottom side. But they need to be able to land out on Kaisa, who, even early game, can seem a little bit slippery in trying to lock her down.
Yeah, mostly when she activates that supercharger, which I'm looking for her to probably take that, if she hasn't already taken it, probably take it second. Yeah, Supercharged still waiting to be leveled up. She did take the Steel Tempest. That's on the Yasuo. I'm hovering it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the ability, and then it changes, and I start just read it. I'm so smart, you guys.
All right, in the bottom lane, there's the Pike pull onto the Kai'Sa. She doesn't care, going in, doing a good bit of damage on a Phantom of Temp, but there's no Ignite in the bottom lane. Doesn't matter. The bananas!
That's the banana. That's the banana.
Oh, the bananas are strong. Enzalor gets the kill. Beautiful play from Big Coin. Says, I feel confident enough to just go straight in. Who cares about CC when we have damage? And just pumps it out. I love the start as well. All that damage, even with Adoran's shield, is in the top lane. DRF dive with the double buffs, getting the slow onto Malithor. He's in trouble. Nice tornado. CCing, no free names for the moment. Forces the flash out, but I don't know that he's going to be able to run all the way through the jungle and escape. Could try to go for the blast cone, but it's not there. Running past the Krugs. He could look for an execution. Is in the bottom side. Yeah. Xeno taking a little bit of damage. We'll check in now with Malithor, who I think at this point is
he is going to get the execution.
Oh,
he is gonna.
That was actually pretty sick.
Almost messed that up.
I think that was actually purposeful. Like, he purposely walked that way just to get Nasus to drop the AoE and then could walk the other direction. Because if he had kept walking straight forward, Nasus would have been free to drop the AoE, would have been fine. But baited it out to the side to make sure that he got the execution. So I think that was thought through.
Okay.
I'm going to say that it was thought through because it looked cool. How about that?
All right, that works. That's fair. That's fair.
So first blood team see Algae, especially in the bottom lane. Now, unfortunately, it did go onto the Soraka, so she's just going to make bananas even more OP. As dive on the Conqueror Graves comes in, finds the slow onto the Zac. Gerbil taking a little bit of damage. Swain getting extremely low on the bottom side.
Around the corner.
Dive trying to escape. That is the stretching strikes into the jump from the Zac. He wants back in on this. However, remember that Zac does have his passive available. Nasus coming around the corner. Dive should fall unless the Wither on the Yasuo can keep it from going down. Dive lives. Zac is coming up with barely any health, but he still has a little bit of damage. Not enough. And Nasus gets a double kill for the top lane. Who cares that he only has 13 farm when he's got about 1,100 gold at this point to be able to go back and buy so much and has teleport. So after pushing this wave in, he can back, buy some massive items and teleport right back to the top lane. Huge outplay for Raft.
And I believe Malithor also tried to channel his teleport Malithor tried to channel his teleport to save Gerbil once he realized he was going to go down, and so he's actually got the abbreviated cooldown on it right now.
Trading his life over. One more auto attack should spell the death. Does he get out? Big Coin gets out from a insane teleport into 2 people? Like, how? Why would you even teleport and then survives? That's some crazy plays in the bottom lane. Some crazy plays.
Yeah, just straight up outran them because of the cast times on that slight cast time on. Oh, there's a never move.
Finally, DRF Xeno makes him punish for it. Ooh, shurikens fly past the ears of the Lulu. And Gerbil comes up from the side to many walking away. So he just wants to one shadow dash and shurikens could kill Desu, though the Lulu may be trying to bait with a shield.
Yeah, Lulu does have the shield available. She is backing up, though, to go ahead and take her base. No free names here. Engaging on Malithor did make sure to put the Wither down.
Oh, Zed going in, knows that Gerbil doesn't have the passive, and that pop will kill him. So to many, nice use and communication with the team to be aware that the Zac passive was down, which meant that it's a lot easier to do that, because if he's underneath the turret and he has the passive up, that's definitely not a kill. In this case, though, now 4 kills for Team Raft, doing really well so far in the early game.
Yeah, 4 kills to 1, almost, actually exactly 1,500 gold in the lead right now. No free names, just taking advantage of Malithor in this top lane now. Malithor was doing a good job of pushing him in initially, but No Free Names has since taken over this lane and made it his dominion ever since Malithor kind of got chased out through the backside.
So Malithor only 23 farm. As we mentioned, having a little bit of a slow time in the top lane, but Nasus finally backing. We'll see what he decides to buy. Just goes for a Sheen. Should pick up some other pieces as well, because he's still sitting on some pretty amounts of gold. Now down to 61. There we go. He decides not to go for the boots. Teleporting to the top side. Graves around the corner. Phantom Attempt misses the engage. So that means there's just a little bit of silence onto the members of Sea Algae, but they're able to get out just fine. Dive around the corner, getting some good damage down. Bitcoin low, down to about half health. But the disengage happens as Pike, missing all of his abilities, kind of says there's not much more we can do.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that Bitcoin hadn't quite hit 6 yet. As he goes in on Phantom Attempt, doesn't quite get the damage down.
Yeah, both low, but this is just showing the power of Kaisa. 58 farm, 249. Obviously not a funnel, but even with just a pickaxe, able to output a massive amount of damage. And if you can continue to stack up, things are going to look pretty good. So when he takes one tower shot, but it's still looking really nice. Wild Growth is available for Lulu if she does get jumped on. So it's more imperative for Zed to actually get that pop damage before and try to bait out the Wild Growth before going all in. Graves stealing away some Zack's jungle. In the top lane, Malthor just getting a little bit of harassed damage. Don't think they're going to true fight this out. As Dribble in the mid lane trying to get the CC down onto Graves. No
Bitcoin is here.
Strikes. Kaisa roaming all the way up from the bottom lane, leaving Soraka to 1v2 down there. And they don't get much of anything. So a lot of attempt skirmishes. There's the exhaust. The Enslow with a nice flash. I've seen so many do that way too late. Does still get harpooned back. He does use the heal as well to get underneath the turret. In the meantime, Bitcoin in trouble. Will be popped and goes down as the Graves and Zed, or sorry, just the Zed finds her in the jungle all by herself. I mean, okay,
yeah.
Zed. Oh, that was a cute seal. That was the sealy thing. What? All right, Flordesu gets the knock up immediately into the CC from Turbo as well. Timeni's in trouble. Lulu gets to shut down after turning Zed into a sealy thing. Graves around the corner, but Sea Algae get one back. Now turning on to dive. Find him out. Gerbil does have red buff, so gets the slow. Graves has been slowed down as well. There's the polymorph. Flordesu getting pretty good damage. Oh!
Oh! Did manage to get the ultimate off, so got the kill on Zack prior to going down.
Aww. KF2? What is KF2? In the top lane, last breath used by the Yasuo. Malthor trying to get some good damage down with the engage onto no free names. No one around to help him out though, and he is out of wind. Very low on health. Does have 2 potions, so could use those. Nas is going to try to get in. That Wither is really good. Uses the ultimate though. Flashes in. Needs one more Q to finish him off. It's underneath the turret. Doesn't matter. Pings there from the Zack around the corner. But he's taking the blue buff, and so will not engage. An extremely low health Nasus.
Yeah, Nas is doing a good job right now. He's at 108 stacks. Xeno going in.
Whew. Burst out onto the Soraka. That was a really good engage from Raft, even without Pike CC. Just says, it's time to go, time to go.
Yep. Got to go through, pop that Soraka, and that opens up opportunities across the map too. With Soraka down for a little bit, they did have a moment where they definitely knew that heal was not, that ultimate heal was not going to come through. That window has closed, but of course her ultimate's actually still down.
Oh. Bone Spur, not gonna find Kaisa. I'm gonna double check that. I've called it like 6 different names so far. Bone Skewer, that's right. That's right, guys. Bone Skewer. I called his little harpoon, his hook, his everything. All sorts of different names. So Bone Skewer it is.
Dive in the jungle.
Versus 2. Nice little slam into the wolf. Pulls him past the wind wall from the Yasuo. So he's got some nice low CC. Timeni knocked up, so won't be able to engage this for just a moment. Does get one on the return and blasts out the passive. Will still fall underneath the turret. So Zack is coming back up. Timeni on the Zed, trying to clear up the passive from the Zack. Will be able to get the kill credit from that one before Desu is here, getting some decent poke damage in the bottom lane. Xeno's ult has been used already. He's down to half health. Soraka wants in. Bitcoin trying to get as much damage as possible. A couple more auto attacks, flashes forward. Needs to finish off the swing. Gets one underneath the turret. Doesn't care. Getting some damage on a Phantom Attempt. They will back out. And so it's only a trade for 1 in the bottom lane. But Sea Algae trying to just stem the tide of kills that are going over to Team Raft all across the map.
Yeah, Raft is doing a good job of pressing their advantages that they have right now. 2,000 gold ahead. 2,000 gold ahead. 1,300 of that lead is actually in the top lane.
Oh, Flordesu gets a trade of kills! And didn't have the wild throw from the last engage. Just goes straight in. Auto attack after auto attack after auto attack. Rod of Ages in the inventory. So that Glitter Lance does some pretty good damage. But in the end, Trey's 1 for 1 in the mid lane.
Yeah, one thing you got to keep an eye out for right now is that Team Algae is actually not managing to get any damage on turrets. Raft is constantly keeping these lanes pushed up. Oh, that is a ton of damage out of Siphoning Strike for no free names. He's going in after Malithor.
Nice tornado dashing right through. The Q lands on the turret, and Zach is here as well. And they could try to turn on to dive. Malithor has to play safe. He's only down to 200 health. So the Graves could try to get the outplay. He's waiting for his ultimate to be back up in just a couple of seconds. Xeno goes in once again. They try to find the stun, but move from Kaisa with the ultimate gets her in position to try to do some damage. The ultimate from the Pyke misses. Bitcoin very low uses the... Oh my goodness. Sorry, the last couple of auto attacks finishes off the Pyke. Swain may be in trouble. It's a 2 for 1. Dive in the top lane, goes underneath the turret, uses the ultimate as well, but can't quite find the kill. Zach says, I'm out, uses the ultimate to escape in the bottom lane. Swain makes the outplay on the Soraka, gets 1, and with another auto attack will clean up Kaisa as well, who just tries to get some more farm before falling down. So in the bottom lane, Swain turns it around 2v1 and is now 4-1-0. Xeno feeling really good about this game.
And meanwhile, no free names teleported back into the top lane and is actually made it to where Malithor cannot back now. If Malithor backs, that tower goes down. And they've already got a lot of pressure on the bot lane turret as well as a lot of damage on the mid lane turret. Like you said, the Raft has been constantly pushed up this entire game. And that's going to be bot tower falling for first turret on the side of Team Raft. Meanwhile, no free names pushing in, not even going after Malithor, going straight for the turret. And now he turns.
Yep, uses the last breath, trying to get a little bit of damage, but he's all out of wind, all out of health, and will fall. Flordesu around the corner, who's trying to bait long enough for the rest of his team to come in, will die. Who does it go over to? Gerbil steals it away. You want that on your AP Lulu in the mid lane. What did I just say? But in this end, it does go to Zach, who will just get a little extra help here. Pyke was roaming to the top side to see if he could help out. Won't be able to get it, so instead it's going to be the mid lane turret falling. And this is what I would love to see, as we were talking earlier about TSM. This is the hyper aggression. This is every lane going just all in. 0-2-3. 4-0-1, 4-2-0. I mean, some of these lineups are lineups that say, yes, we may die some, but we're just going to take everything. Now they've got an Ocean Drake. Zed got a kill on Zach. They may have died 10 times, but they've got 15 kills and a 4,000 gold lead.
Phantom gets a nice little chunk of damage in there, but not really enough to get the to secure the kill, and the stun is mistimed a little bit, so Temeni couldn't quite get in there.
And that's the thing about Pyke that everyone's talking about. Oh, he's so OP. It's really about positioning. It's really about positioning with him. You can sidestep his stun. If you can predict where he's going to go with the stun, you just walk 2 steps to the side, it won't land, and now he's in a bad position that you can deal damage. In the meantime, Polymorph on to dive. Phantom of Temp goes right back in, doesn't find the stun on anyone, though, because of the repositioning from the Kaisa ultimate. Turning on Phantom of Temp, he tries to execute to get out, will still fall in the top lane. Malithor is just in trouble once again, has not had a good game at all, will fall to no free names, dropping him down to half health on the Nasus. Doesn't care. That'll be top lane turret for Team Raft, and all exterior turrets will be secured. Swain in a little bit of trouble in the mid lane, trying to defend, is able to clear the minion wave, and that's going to slow things down for Team Algae, who just want to try to secure at least 1 turret of their own, as they haven't taken a single turret so far this game.
Yeah, they 4 versus 1, they are going to manage to push this back and take this mid turret, which is definitely going to be helpful to them. Now the question is, what are they going to give up for it? Because Nasus is still pushing on the top side of this map. Xeno goes in with his ultimate there, gets popped pretty quickly.
Yeah, trying to wait for the rest of his team to show up. Bitcoin coming out huge, however, will be popped himself. Enzlor flashing the wall, tries to get a little bit of damage onto Temani. There's Zach pulling people back, sacrificing his life. Wants to finish off Temani, though he's very close, but the swag comes out, and now the passive on the Zach underneath the turret will be so easy to clean up. Pyke finish off Lulu on the other side, and the Soraka barely escapes, gets out just in the nick of time. Team Raft solidly in control of this game with some amazing aggression, and now an 8-2-1 Zed.
Yeah, Temeni is massive on this Zed right now, making sure that his team is fully ahead. Goes in, pops the wild growth big coin on the Lulu, or I'm sorry, big coin on Kaisa there, and make sure that he does not have a chance to survive that fight. Like you said, Soraka does manage to get away just barely, but that ultimate is down. That's a huge tool that they will definitely need here going forward, with how fed this Zed is getting.
And it's one of those things that this Swain, you could argue, shouldn't have gone in or should have waited a second to go in, but using the ultimate delayed the members of Sea Algae and guaranteed that they couldn't back. And by doing, oh, there's the ultimate from Kaisa, but finds two. Really good damage onto Tamani, pulled back as well, but dives across the map, that's explosive damage, and Zed gets the last hit. I believe that was with the ultimate as well, and now Yasuo blast cone across the wall. Swain trying to get some damage from the backside. Phantom of Temp going over, Malithor in trouble. Zac comes to try to help out, last breath onto the Graves. One more auto attack will do it. Zac slaps him down. Phantom of Temp has gotten the trade kill. He's only at 100 health, and he is seen. Gerbil says, I can walk you down because I have red buffs. Xeno trying to heal up, using the ultimate to get some good damage. Temeni here as well. Xeno hasn't died just yet. So low, but Journal comes in from the backside. Gerbil comes in from the backside. Temeni on the run, flashing forward. Zac jumps in, gets the hop, but a good play by Temeni with a flash over the wall. And that's going to be the Void Seeker falling short as Flor Desu unable to chase in. The Zed gets out. What I was trying to say earlier very quickly was Swain sticking around and using the ultimate made sure that the rest of the team could come out of the base freshly healed and picked up 3 kills off of that. Well, now it's been turned around the opposite direction as Team Sea Algae, because I keep saying it a little bit weird, Team Sea Algae were able to kind of turn things around in their favor and pick up, I believe it was a 3-for-1 trade in kills.
Yeah, they picked up the 3-for-1 trade, however, on the top side of the map while that was going on, because remember that was a 5v4. No Free Names did pick up the Rift Herald for his team. So it's going to be curious to see where he goes and where he drops that, if he takes that back to the top lane, or if they use it to bust open the mid lane tier 2 and possibly even get the inhibitor. As Temeni trying to go in 1v3 right now.
Just burning a little bit of abilities. Walks around the corner, gets himself out. Zed super slippery. It is an Ocean Drake.
He's got a ward there.
Could imagine that they would try to drop the Rift Herald. Oh, there's an opportunity to dive Enzlor as it is just a squishy Soraka. Temeni clears the ward. An extremely low health mid tower, and that's where the Nasus decides to drop the Rift Herald. No!
The silence!
It's so rare to see that, but Soraka walks in with the silence field and completely turns that around. No Rift Herald for you. It's the small things in the game, and that means that the mid lane turret continues to live. Zac here now with the Kaisa, drops Phantom Attempt to half health. Nasus is a 1v4 situation, has ulted himself, but he's so low, and CC down. He's gone already. That's the main tank from Raft. Zed's in the top lane. They could truly win this fight and go for the Ocean Drake if they want. Swain splitting to the bottom side, but he's all alone. Zac needs to be a little careful because he's pushing forward while the rest of his team goes a different direction. Things to the top side, yeah. Lulu goes to try to stop him.
Yeah, Lulu's not going to be able to really stop this Zed, but the pressure from having 4 pushing down the mid lane is definitely going to be enough to probably pull Temeni off of this tower. Maybe after he takes it, though. Yeah, Temeni is going to go ahead and grab the tower.
Exhaust actually slowed him taking the tower a lot. He may fall for that. He's used the ultimate. In the meantime, we're seeing a fight in the mid lane as Dive, unable to quick draw over the wall. That should be a guaranteed kill. The rest of the team, Kaisa uses that ultimate to get real close and personal, finishing him off. The turret will fall in the mid lane. Sea Algae feeling good, able to take that one down. Zed was able to survive on the top side, but Lulu now pushing those minions out as the rest of the team from Sea Algae decide to back away from the mid lane. But Nasus re-engaging onto Enzlor, gets the Wither, slows him down, but will wait for Phantom of Temp to try to get in. Cannot find the Bone Skewer. This is the exhaust. They really want the Soraka.
Yeah, if you can get the Soraka, and there she goes. You got the Soraka. Now you've got an opportunity where the team does not have any heals. That's the big thing that's making this team sort of, wow, that barely did not tag Xeno on that back.
Yeah, it is an AoE, and there was a possibility that the minion would be close enough to the bush that would have stopped Xeno recalling, though, excuse me, at this point in the game, 1, 7, and 6 Yasuo, you're not very afraid of. And it's going to be the opposite story on the top side as Gerbil in trouble, running around for a second trying to decide, where do I go? Oh, the ultimate from the Zed. Beautiful play. Nice little blast cone. Gerbil is such a tiny little Zac blob, but yeah, that should be the shurikens to finish him off. Nope, it's a passive. Kaisa here as well. Void Seeker going to miss, hit the Gromps instead. Zed does get the kill onto the Zac. Nice little hop over the wall means that he should be able to escape. The chase is on though as Flordesu and Bitcoin come around the corner. It's a 2v2. Dive here as well. Huge damage, huge shield, huge wild growth. Dive is gone. Tries to get the ultimate, but it's not near enough. Flordesu chases out to many. He's going to have to back away from this one. Swain headed to the top side. Didn't use teleport, just walked all the way up there, and now it's going to clear the farm as the Ocean Drake goes over to Team Raft, picking up the second Drake of the game.
And I believe they had eyes on Flordesu there, so they should have known not to quite engage there because there was a chance that Lulu had wild growth and definitely had at least one shield ready to go on Bitcoin just in case. So a bit of a botched re-engage there as we see too many going on Malithor now.
And that should be the pop. Oh, the shield of Bless trying to keep him alive, but Timini's so low.
The wind wall blocked a lot of the shurikens there and stopped a lot of the damage from coming through, but unfortunately just wasn't enough.
In the meantime, Kaisa is still chasing in, waiting for the Void Seeker to come back up. The recall from Zed in the corner. Bitcoin was predicting him to walk through. He tries to turn on Enzo. Nice movement. Keeps the shurikens from landing. Too many on the run. Just smited for the slow as well. There's the ultimate from the Kaisa, turning on to no free names. But there's nothing for the stretching strikes to slow him down to unless they've got a Phantom of Temp. Unstoppable from the Zac, hops right back in, trying to stop them from taking out his Kaisa. She lives for the moment, using that invisibility. Pike is gone. Nasus is gone. In the top lane, it's a Swain versus Lulu 1v1. Wild growth to keep herself alive, and the Xeno is tanking up the turret. Never move forward, flashes forward, tries to get the damage. Beautiful, beautiful Zanyas from the Lulu, shields herself as well. Gets the trade of kills on the Swain. Oh my goodness, Xeno falls to the top lane to some amazing play from the Lulu.
Amazing play from the Lulu. Big misplay also on the part of DRF Xeno, letting the Eldritch Blast go just a little bit early there, and as a result, it completely whiffs, doesn't even touch Desu, and prevents the trade of kills from happening.
Rar trying to make everyone just sick from hunger due to the delicious food that he's mentioning in the chat. Top 10 anime fight scenes. That was one right there. Lulu versus Xeno. That is one that will both go on the Twitter feed as a hero play of the day, as well as will probably eventually make it into a highlight reel because, gosh darn it, that was sick. Still 4,000 gold in the lead. Team Raft feeling good, but it is all up to Zed, who's probably going to pick up another kill here. Pike may help out, but yeah, too many. Steals it away. No need for the execution for Pike. But that means that Algae turn onto the Baron. There's pings from Team Raft. They are at least aware that it's likely that it's happening, even if they don't have any specific vision on it. DRF dive around the corner, may try to quick draw over. Down to 1,000 health, 800, smited away early, but Kaisa gets it away. There's a redemption, healing up the members of Algae as they're trying to survive. No free names falls, that's the front tank line. Xeno goes in, he's ulting, he uses the Zanyas, but Kaisa is destroying the back line. Graves is gone, Swain is gone. Phantom, the only one left alive here. The Zed doing what he can, trying to split push to the side, but it's Baron powered recalls from the side of Algae, and they should try to stop it. Maybe too many gets to the inhibitor. Or the tower. Yeah,
and something you got to keep an eye on as I pull up this pull up the replay here.
Are you streaming the replay though? Because I looked earlier and it does not look like you're streaming.
Did it not go? I thought I had it up, but I guess not.
In the meantime, though, Zac pulling in 2 members straight, the rest of the team. Oh, the beautiful play because it's a Nakaba as well. Yasuo here with the last breath to CC them long enough. It's still Gerbil that picks up the double kill. 8, 7, and 11 against a double ocean team. You'd think that would be too much on the Nasus, but when your Kaisa is as fed as this Rage Blade, Zanya's AP Kaisa can destroy, they're feeling pretty good. Now with the Baron in power on 4 members pushing down the mid lane, the Yasuo joins as well, and they should be able to at least get some pretty good chunk damage onto this inhibitor turret, if not just straight up take it.
Yeah, and the big thing in that Baron fight was that Kaisa was untouched on the back line.
And she does it again, ulting to the Nasus, taking him out. Huge damage onto Swain as well. She's tanking up the turret, speeding out to the side. Execution on the Soraka, but Pike can't find any more than that. The Zanya's on the Lulu, keeping herself alive as Kaisa finishes off the Graves as well. Double kill to her, turning on to the Zed and the inhibitor. Zed tries to go in, get the execution, but it's the Zanya, so the AP Kaisa lives for the moment. The Shuriken comes around to the side, finishes off the Lulu. Temeni goes right back in. There's the recall from the Kaisa, will still fall. The Zed is doing work, saves the inhibitor, and should be able to outplay the Yasuo. Gets away at least, escaping wise. But that means the Yasuo has free time on the inhibitor. And they try to get it. Nasus teleporting to the bottom side, wants to push in and get at least inhibitor tower of their own. Just trying to keep Malifaux off of the inhibitor. Zed goes in past the wind wall with the shadow. There comes the Pike, though, trying to get the stun. They won't quite find it. The massive heal from the Soraka. Exhaust is down, though. Can Malifaux outplay his life? The outplay of his life does not find it. In the meantime, Nasus has destroyed the inhibitor and is just Q. All right, inhibitor's down. Time to walk away.
Yeah, I like that. I love his reaction to Enzler walking over and just dropping that silence field on him. Like, yeah, okay, I'll just keep hitting this. Oh, I'm snared now. Cool. Not gonna use my Q. So, good job making sure they got that inhibitor. That is going to be the first inhibitor going down on the side of Team Raft, so they do have a little bit of an advantage there as they are going to have super minions pushing in. They've gotten the Baron off of all members of Team C Algae, and as a result, they do have the focus now on this dragon, which spawns in 15 seconds. It's going to be an Ocean Drake, but it is still a pretty significant objective, because if it falls in the hands of Team C Algae, that gives them at least half the power that Team Raft has right now, sitting on 2 Ocean Drakes themselves already.
But if they get 3, that Nasus is going to be basically unkillable. Temeni diving into the mid lane. Malifaux taking
pop.
All right, Ocean Drake.
They all retreated to deal with Temeni, and as a result, they're just going to give away this Ocean Drake. I cannot agree with that decision as a team.
Especially against a Zed with minions there, unable to push into an inhibitor turret. Even if he started work on it, he doesn't have quite enough damage to just solo it down by the time that you at least fight for the Ocean Drake and then head back. Maybe send one. The Lulu has shown a couple different times that she's able to deal with him. But as it is, they lose a 3rd Ocean Drake to a Nasus, who is just going to walk away, heal back up full, and keep the split push alive. He's walking in now onto the inhibitor turret. In the mid lane, there are pings there, and just 1 Q knocks 6 of the health off of the turret as the members of Team Raft do back away, deciding that it's worth it to wait for a better engage rather than just brute forcing the mid lane inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and it almost always will be for this team in particular. They need to be looking for opportunities, as Bitcoin did there.
Yeah, Bitcoin going into the top side. The knockup with a polymorph. Zed is gone. That's the biggest fear for the Kaisa. She gets the heal off the Redemption, already nearly back up to full. Massive damage and silence onto the Nasus. He can't do anything. There's no Wither. They've got the CC onto the Swain as well. Phantom attempt coming from behind, but he is seen inside the Zac. Has to flash away. And the Kaisa, does she have the ultimate available to chase that in? Not yet. Once over the wall, flashes forward. The rockets are there. Phantom attempt uses the I was about to say, that's gotta be the stopwatch, because there's no way he built his Zanyas. Stopwatch will still die. And that's one of those times that I've done it myself 100 times, but sometimes it is better to just accept there's 4 members of CLG here. I'm not escaping. I'm just going to die. Let me save the stopwatch for the next engage. You can see he's already sold it because there just isn't a reason to try to hang on to it.
Yeah, we came back in as soon as he died, he went ahead and bought the Guardian Angel, so that it does upgrade out of it. So I mean, I think he was gonna upgrade it already, so he might as well use it. But like you said, it wasn't really that useful.
As it stands, 36 kills to 31. CLG have turned it around, and also I hate whoever has gotten the name CLG stuck in my mind, because at this point I can't say anything that's right. Literally everything that comes out of my mouth sounds wrong. Dive is gone. There's the explosion. Gerbil steals it away with the CC. Temeni should be able to escape it. But if I say CLG, it sounds weird. If I say CLG, it sounds weird. If I say CLG, It's not right. It sounds weird. Everything that comes out of my mouth when it comes to Team 1, I'm just going to call them Blue Team from now on. That's about the best that I can do to make sure that my brain doesn't cry every time I say something. They're still down 1,000 gold. I'm not kidding. They're still down 400 gold. But definitely with this Kai'Sa 18, 6, and 8, as long as they can keep her alive in any team fight, they will win.
Yeah, she has hit 18,000 gold in total. That is as much as her Zac and Yasuo combined. And yet still is continuing to get farm. Pick it up, completely full build, sitting on a Randuin's Omen for a defensive item.
So 4 members from CLG, just call them CLG, why not? Hanging out on the top side. Yasuo trying to deal with the inhibitor down and up. Polymorph. Yep, Xeno is gone. No free names. Now trying to tank up against 4. Dive being dived as Kai'Sa goes into the back line. Pyke finds one on the Lulu. That's good for Team Raft, but it's a little bit too little. Can Phantom Attempt find the hook on the Kai'Sa? That's what matters. The flash forward to silence the Wither from the Nasus trying to stop the rest of the team. With 3 members knocked up. Soraka here as well. Enzler flashes to the backside. Kai'Sa is still untouched. The resurrection from the Pyke is still not going to be doing too much. Exhausted, but way too late. Timeni, the only one who can save it all around. He's going to be able to turn on to Gerbil as well. Oh, there's the passive, so it's just delaying it. He's not able to get the Baron, but it will be 9 people dying. Gerbil is trying to make it a fighting happenstance. He's still got 2 more health packs he could try to pick up. Will finally die. There it is, the ace for Zed, the only one left alive on the map. Not going to be able to do too much by the time people respawn, but there are pings from both teams now on the Baron saying, can we fight this? And I think Zed's just going to push down the mid lane a little bit.
Yeah, get a little bit of pressure on mid lane, get the mid lane priority so that the enemy has to think about, okay, if we go for this Baron, will we lose our mid lane turret? The answer to that question is probably going to end up being no by the time Timeni actually gets down there. But Timeni is sticking around, putting a little bit of extra damage onto this turret while the minions are coming.
I just splashed energy drink in my eyeball, guys. Anyway, Malithor goes in. Timeni does get the middle inhibitor. Oh! The damage is insane. Gets turned into a cute seal, but has been popped. Holy crap, that seal is so cute and so perfect for sealy things. I may have to move the camera and clip a tiny little seal from that because that's just so adorable as Kai'Sa finds the reverse pop on the Zed. Takes him out. Red buff goes over to the Kai'Sa. 22 kills, still insanely strong. But it was, from that last fight, all about the Zed finding the kill on Kai'Sa, able to secure that. Now that both teams kind of vying around. It is an Infernal Drake coming up next in 10 seconds. But CLG wants the Baron instead. Kai'Sa started the teleport, but has been canceled. Dive now comes in, huge damage. The shield keeping Bitcoin alive for the moment. Phantom can't quite find the engage. The ult is there, but the Zanya is keeping her alive for the moment. Redemption tried to help out as well, but it's huge damage. They're not on the Infernal Drake, but they're chasing down Desu. Soraka comes in from the side, but that's going to be Lulu falling as well. So it's keeping her alive for the moment. Will eventually die, and as well as Soraka and the Kai'Sa being caught out is the game as Raft able to find the kills. It's just a little bit of a buffet line from the Dragon Pit straight to the Nexus. Nasus slamming in. Can Zac Yasuo do anything to save the game? They've got huge CC, huge knock-up. Xeno low, tanking up the turret, trying to heal off of the minions. Phantom Attempt here. They've pushed them off of the Nexus turrets. That's actually massive as Phantom Attempt goes to the bottom side inhibitor to try to clean that one up. They should be able to pick up all 3 turrets. They're still very healthy, and keep in mind, they've got triple Ocean Drakes. So the more they stand around, the more they're going to heal right back up and try to continue this engage. Gerbil knocked down a chunk. They're going to take the inhibitors and back away, probably to the Infernal Drake they wanted from the get-go.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a ton of pressure coming in. Now it's going to be 2 super minions coming down each lane every time minions spawn, and that's going to be so much pressure. All they have to do is wait about a minute and a half, let those minions get past the halfway point, and then if Team Algae tries to actually get out and do anything on the map, they will lose the game outright. No free names and Xeno both have their teleports right now.
And there's that Infernal Drake on top of all of the other ones that Raft has. It's an Elder Drake coming up next. Can Zac cancel it? I see the Zed. He decides to go ahead and dash off to the side before recalling there. Thank you, Xeno. Excuse me, for the tier 2 sub for 2 months in a row. Appreciate that a lot. You such a massive supporter of the stream. Dive polymorphed, trying to run away. Is being slowed down. The rest of the members of CLG want in on this. Nasus here, but they're turning it around onto Gerbil. Dive coming in. The wind wall is gone. It's not going to be available if they decide to actually fight this 5v5. And there are super minions pushing on the top side. They're not quite there yet. There's one more wave for them to beat through. But the longer that this gets delayed, Gerbil getting down to half health, tries to disengage, gets out, pulled back in. Swain is huge. Lulu trying to tank up now. The redemption onto 3 members. Zalias. Is this going to be anything? As the rest of members, Zach is able to grab 3 people, pull him to the backside. Pike has fallen as well. There's a rest of the fight that we can't see, as we're going to have to zoom out real far. Malithor trying to escape from the bottom side. Desu on the run, just distracting. Bitcoin still alive. Flashes off to the side. Xeno chasing in. She's got 1, but traded around Zed. And here comes Nasus teleporting in. Desu still on the run, but it doesn't matter because Nasus is destroying the Nexus.
Malithor needs to back
as well. There is nothing that can be done to stop this. The game is over because super minions are here with a Nasus beating it down. Dive gonna cancel some of the recalls, and that's it. Raft finally secure the win, and you know why? Because there was no Fizz Shark to tear that Raft apart and take them down. 43 kills to 44. Fantastic win from Team Raft.
Yeah, it was a great job by Team Raft. However, I do have to kind of criticize the decision by Team Algae to actually go and meet them at that midway point. At that point, when you've got 3 inhibs down, you need to be ready to defend. You need to have at least 2 people back to deal with the super minions so that you can actually stay alive. You send your jungler, you send somebody who can help deal damage, but at the end of the day, you have to have somebody back in the base to clear out super minions so you don't come back to your base to find 6 super minions tearing apart your Nexus.
Exactly. It's just a little bit too much, a little bit too late. The only thing I could see was that when they initially showed up at the river, were trying to catch the Graves out, there was a tiny window where there were still 2 waves of minions spawning for themselves that were delaying the super minions getting to their base. Not for long, but just a little bit. But instead of committing to just a massive 5-man fight, they delay, they skirmish back, they pull back, they pull back, they pull back, they pull back, trying to wait for a better opportunity to go in, but there wasn't one. And every time that 4 people were able to get out, someone was left behind. First it was the Zac, then it was the Lulu, then Yasuo went in trying to defend and trying to make something happen, but it was too late. And so then they're fighting in a very awkward, very tight quarter where you have the AoE from Xeno on the Swain, you have the AoE of Graves blasting through everyone, Phantom of Temp was able to dash through, get massive amounts of CC, and sure, you think that Gerbil with that ultimate was going to be able to lock people up pretty well, but if you look at CLG's lineup, you have Lulu, who's only able to CC with Polymorph 1 person. You have Gerbil, who's only able to CC maybe 2 people with slapping them together. You've got Kaisa, whose main power is hitting 1 person with all of her rockets. When you spread that in a quarter like that was against 5 people, you aren't able to just burst down everybody. You have to pick 1 target to burst, and they just didn't have that. And so at the very end, the fight goes over Team Raft. Lulu tries to distract as much as possible. Nasus says, I don't care! No free names, let's just teleport it into the Nexus and destroy it, take it down, because minions were already on it. And the game goes over to Team Raft. Very well played. Let's go through MVPs and honorable mentions. And I'm actually going to try to listen this time instead of just talking to the chat, because the chat's cool. I like talking with my chat, guys. You guys are so awesome.
Honorable mention for the side of Team CLG is going to go over to Floor Desu. Did a great job of making sure that A, waves were cleared in the mid lane as well as the top lane, basically matched the Zed's wave clear wherever Zed went. And then B, a lot of the time when they came out of base, Floor Desu, Enzalor, and Bitcoin all came out together, made sure to keep this team's big carry alive as best he could. Unfortunately, Desu did manage to get caught out there at that last fight, and so had to blow the wild growth on herself instead of using wild growth on Bitcoin, which may have turned the fight in their favor, since Bitcoin was doing a pretty solid job of kiting out. It just depends on how the rest of that fight would have gone. MVP definitely going to go over to Bitcoin. No surprise there. Kaisa OP. Managed to tear apart multiple team fights, and unfortunately, as we saw multiple times, whenever Bitcoin got taken out, whenever Bitcoin went down, the rest of the team could not keep up with the damage output, could not keep up with Team Raft, and as a result, the win goes the other way.
Indeed, for the winning team. So much to talk about, but you can't talk about all of it. I think that the honorable mention I'm going to give, it's really the question, because obviously to many, you did a beautiful, beautiful job on this Zed. The honorable mention, you have to figure out across the line where that goes. And I think that I'm going to give it to no free names for doing what you want on a split push, especially at the end of the game, the teleport in, recognizing let's not chase the Lulu, let's not be ridiculous, let's not go for the Baron, we can just teleport in and win. And I think that's the big thing for the Nasus especially, even though there was some very beautiful teleport plays across the map from both sides, it was his use of those teleports, almost always getting massive value from that, and especially at the end. So giving the honorable mention to him, and then I already mentioned it, no surprise to many, on a sick, nasty Zed, playing an incredible job. Vitrillion is here, almost at the very end. What the heck?
What's up, Vet?
That is awesome. I'll check the damage charts in just a second. What I did want to do a huge shout out was to Enzalor on this Soraka. 33 assists. Oh, holy macaronis. Just look for a second here, guys, all right? 44 kills, 44 deaths, and 99 assists for Team 1. I'm so close to 44 kills, 44 deaths, and 44 assists on Team 2. How does that even work out? How does that even work out? I don't know. All right, let me move the scene so we can check in on advanced details. Delete my webcam, there we go. So we can check this out and see some of these.
How about 73,000 damage to champions on that Kaisa? 73,000. 49 for the Zed. Whoo!
That is absolutely disgusting. That is disgusting damage, Kaisa. You make everyone else feel bad. I mean, it's kind of what we were talking about with the semi-funnel onto the Kaisa, but that is just disgusting. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. All right, guys, it has been fantastic. Salic, do you have to go, my good sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna go take care of my lovely wife.
Okay, you go do that. Family comes first, super duper important, but we appreciate that. Okay, apparently, I will shout this out for Malthorius if he is still on. That is the EIQ Gaming is doing a free agent and pre-made tournament this Saturday. So if EIQ is still on, let's see if he's still here. Yeah, it looks like he's still here. You can hit this guy up if you're interested in joining a free agent and pre-made tournament this Saturday. Apparently they're doing some tournament stuff. Awesome dude. Definitely check out what his crew are up to. But I think we will call it a night for Salic, though I think I will personally, as it's only 12, cast one more game, just because I really feel like there's a lot of you guys that haven't played in forever that I'd love to get into a game. Cat and Mary are still hanging out as well. Salic.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, good sir.
I'll see everyone later.
See you probably before next Tuesday.
Probably.
Night.
Later.